let's go ahead and get situated. So we'll have a seat and kind of get tuned in. So find your steady, comfortable seat. Just kind of take a moment to settle into your skin, connect downward through the sit bones, and then connect upward through the crown of the head. Let your shoulders slide down your back. And we're just going to take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale all the air out through the mouth. Close the eyes. Go ahead and begin your Ujjayi breathing now as you're feeling into your body. So those deep, slow, partially restricted inhales and exhales through the nose as you're noticing how each part of your body feels. Notice also any thoughts, any emotions. Notice how your energy feels this morning. And then let's go ahead and bring palms together in front of the heart and set our intention for practice. When you're clear about what would serve you best, take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Allow your arms to just hang by your side. We're going to be working a little bit with shoulders today, chest area, this whole upper section, and that's very much affected by the neck. So we're kind of going to work a little bit with neck first. What I'd like you to do is with your arms hanging by your sides, take a deep breath in and squeeze your shoulders up by your ears. And then exhale through your mouth and literally drop them. Just let them fall. Inhale, squeeze them up. Exhale, let them fall. One more time. Inhale, squeeze them up. Exhale, drop them. And then roll them back a few times. So in the ancient times, you would roll your shoulders back as well as forward. But in modern times, our shoulders are forward way too much of the time anyway, so we just roll them back. Today, we're all about counteracting that modern shoulder forward lifestyle. So that's what we're working with today. For now, let's go ahead and open up the neck a little bit. So I'd like you to drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, and I will not be mirroring you. So I'm going to look opposite to you. Your right is that way. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder and just relax for a moment. Let the head be heavy. Then kind of start to move the head around. You can play with tilting the chin in opposite directions. Just kind of play with moving the head around while it's still hanging to the right until you find a spot that you really feel quite intently on the left side of your neck. When you get that, reach the left hand down towards the floor. The goal is not to touch the floor. The goal is to drop the left shoulder blade and intensify the stretch a little bit, and then use your breath. Breathe into the place that you most feel sensation right now. Where we focus our attention, blood flow increases, and when blood flow increases, prana follows. Slowly relax your left arm. Your head should still be hanging to the right. You're going to use the palm of your right hand against your right cheek. Literally push the head up. And then roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Notice if the left side of your neck already feels different from the right side. Hopefully that's true. And so let's do the other side. You're going to drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And then just let it hang for a moment so we're never in a hurry here. Once you start feeling a stretch on the right side of the neck, then you start exploring. Start moving your head around, playing with angle of the chin. And when you find the right spot, you keep your head in that position. And then you begin to reach the right arm down. So again, it's not about trying to touch the floor so much as it is about dropping the right shoulder blade. So it's like you're trying to put your right palm on the floor, but that's not the goal. You should feel a deeper stretch. And when you do, you simply breathe into the place that you feel the sensation. And then just relax the right arm. Use the palm of your left hand against your left cheek and push your head back up to the center. Roll the shoulders back. Awesome. Lift up through the crown of the head. Just kind of pause for a moment and check in now from your jaw to the bottom of the rib cage. I want you to just notice what you're feeling. That's our area of emphasis today. We will be using all the body parts, but we're going to be working from the jaw to the bottom of the rib cage. So let's do a little jaw work before we do anything else. I want you to open your mouth really wide and then clench your teeth. And then open your mouth really wide and then clench your teeth. Now, tilt your chin up towards the ceiling. Open your mouth really wide and clench your teeth. One more time. Bring the chin all the way down onto your chest. Now, instead of opening and clenching, I want you to move your bottom jaw side to side. You might notice you feel that in your neck around your collarbone. And then you can close your mouth and relax the jaw and bring the head back up. All right, from here, we're going to go straight into a downward facing dog. So go ahead and just plant your hands. Feel free to wiggle around a little bit in this first down dog. What I want you to be conscious of once you've done whatever little, get yourself going kind of movements, then I want you to go ahead and pay attention to your hands. Spread the fingers as much as your hands allow and try to flatten out the palms, particularly between the base of the index finger and thumb. Then I want you to relax your neck. Push through the hands and then feel into the space around your neck. If you feel like you're pushing too far forward and you're compressed in the neck, you slightly back up out of the stretch. Ever so slightly push the arms towards each other or roll them inward to create more space between the neck and the shoulders. Then the tailbone can reach farther back and the heels can sink. I just want you to be very mindful of no compression in the neck. And then slowly walk your feet forward. Keep your knees bent. Hang in ragdoll. Take a couple of breaths here. And then while you're in this position, just move your feet out to the edges of the mat so you got a little bit of room here. It doesn't matter what direction your toes are pointing. You still want your knees kind of bent. It's just that now you've got some space between your legs. Maybe you can hang a little deeper. And if it feels okay, I'd like you to interlace your fingers behind your neck, not your head, but your neck. Try and get those elbows to touch underneath your chin. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but the idea is that your forearms are underneath your chin. And then totally relax your neck and relax your arms. So the weight of the arms right now is tractioning out your neck. Take one more breath. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and reach the arms all the way up and overhead stretch. And as you exhale, bring your palms together and your feet together. So inhale, reach the arms up, spread your fingers, lift your chest, And then while you're reaching up, pull the shoulders down. That might mean that they move forward a little bit. It's okay. Check in again and feel space between ears and shoulders. Take one more breath here. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and fold forward, standing forward bend. Inhale, look up halfway, and exhale back down. So we're gonna go ahead and step back with the left foot and find our right foot forward lunge. Let's take a couple of breaths here. So we don't ever want to neglect the hips. Even though our emphasis is on the upper body, we're still paying attention to the rest of ourselves, right? So from here, if you like, take your right hand up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outdoors, and maybe make some circles with that right arm. Again, we're just playing with range of motion. Just kind of exploring. I want you to be very mindful of what's going on, as I said, between the jaw and the bottom of the rib cage. We'll go ahead and bring the right hand down. Drop the left knee, fully extend your right leg, flexing ankle and toes to kind of get into that right hamstring. And then once you feel sensation in your right hamstring and you've got that part of your body set, check back in with neck and shoulders. Shoulders should still be down the back. So we want to be really mindful not to compress in the neck at all. And then let's go ahead and bend the right knee. Bring the arms up and overhead, tilt the pelvis, let the hips move forward. Lift your chest and then double check. Again, space between ears and shoulders. Keep the shoulders down the back here. If it feels okay, interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep your hands on your left glute or under your left glute. And just lift the chest a little. It's almost like you're sliding your hands down the back of the left thigh. Release the hands. Let's step it back to plank. I want you to just hold your plank for a moment. So it's an upper push-up position. Some people call this a high plank. From this position, push into those nice flat palms and feel some space between your shoulder blades, and then make sure you feel some space between ears and shoulders. And then on your next exhale, let's go ahead and lower down and come all the way onto your stomach, extending the arms out in front of you. This first time for Sphinx. So even though we are tractioning the low back, we also want to take the opportunity to pull the shoulders away from the ears and pull the sternum forward. So we're lengthening low back, but we're also opening up the front of the chest a little bit. And if we keep those shoulder blades down the back, the front of the shoulders have the opportunity to relax slightly. Take one more breath here. And then downward facing dog with the same level of attention that you had on the first one. Fingers are spread, palms are flat, and there is space between ears and shoulders. Big step forward with your left foot. Hold your lunge for a couple of breaths. And then if you'd like, you can take that left hand up. Maybe make some circles with the left arm. Maybe not, but again, we're just kind of exploring our area of emphasis. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the left hand down, drop the right knee down, fully extend the left leg, flex the ankle and toes. So once we feel that left hamstring stretch, then we come back to awareness of neck and shoulders. Make sure that the shoulders are pulling down the back, no compression in the neck. Bend the left knee. Bring the arms up and overhead. Pelvis tilts back, hips move forward, rib cage lifts. Once you feel the stretch in the front of the right hip, right thigh, bring your awareness back to the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. Shoulders are pulling down the back. If you'd like, you can interlace your fingers behind the back and squeeze the shoulder blades together, but we're going to keep the hands resting on that right glute or the back of the right thigh. Maybe even sliding down a bit. So this is allowing the shoulder blades to move down the back. And then bring the hands down and step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, arms come up and overhead, even though shoulders are down the back. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Nice. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And exhale back down. Step back with your right foot. Hold the lunge for a moment. If you feel like you can, arms are going to come up and overhead. Pelvis tilts. Pardon me, I'm a little wobbly this morning. Pelvis tilts. Hips drop down. And then we pull the shoulders down the back. And then hands come down on either side of the left foot, gaze forward. Begin to straighten your left leg, even if it doesn't go all the way straight. And then again, check in with your shoulders. Make sure they're down the back. And then from here, we simply step back to plank and flow through a vinyasa. Being mindful of shoulders, of course. Once you've made it to your downward facing dog, please be mindful of really pressing that space between the base of the index finger and thumb into the mat and making sure that there's plenty of space between the ears and shoulders. All while still reaching your tailbone back and your heels down, all of it. And then step forward with your right foot. If you can, hold your lunge, bring the arms up and overhead. Pelvis tilts, hips drop, arms raise up, but the shoulders slide down the back. And then from here, we go ahead and bring the hands down on either side of the right foot. Gaze forward, begin to straighten that right leg to whatever degree you can. And then again, double check. Shoulders are down the back. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. So a little vinyasa karma. You guys have done this with me before. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace your fingers, press your palms up, And then as you exhale, press the arms down by your sides as though you're moving through water. So it's kind of like you're resisting your own movement. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace fingers, palms press up as you stretch. Exhale, press the arms back down like you're moving through water. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace, palms press up. Exhale, press your arms down. And then we add another movement. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace your fingers, press your palms up. Now as you exhale, bring your hands in front of you, palms facing down. Inhale, circle the arms behind you, palms facing up, interlacing fingers to stretch. Exhale, hands by sides. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace your fingers, palms press up. Exhale, bring your arms in front of you, palms down, shoulder height. Inhale, circle around behind you, interlacing, palms pressing up. Exhale, palms by sides. Last one like that. Inhale, arms are up. Interlace your fingers, palms press up. Exhale, hands in front of you. Inhale, circle around behind you, interlace the fingers, palms press up, stretch. And then exhale, press your hands down by your sides. Inhale, reach the arms up, interlace your fingers, palms press up. Now this time as you exhale, I'd like you to put left hand at the top of the left shoulder blade, right hand at the top of the right shoulder blade. Bring the upper arms up against your head as much as possible, and then reach the elbows straight up. So your upper arms are very close in by your ears, your elbows are reaching straight up, and you are breathing. On your next inhale, interlace the fingers, palms press up. As you exhale, press your hands down by your sides like you're moving through water. Final pattern here. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace your fingers, press your palms towards the sky. And then as you exhale, this time right hand is on top of the left shoulder blade. Left hand is on top of the right. So your hands or wrists are crossed behind you. Upper arms are hugging in towards the head. Elbows are reaching strongly towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, interlace the fingers, palms press up, and as you exhale, press your arms down. Roll your shoulder blades back a couple of times. And then bring feet together, palms together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. Step back with your left foot, spin the heel flat. Come up into warrior two. And so as you find your warrior two, just making sure everything is aligned. You're going to leave your left arm exactly where it is and just bring your right forearm onto your right thigh. The first thing I want you to do is push into the thigh to lift up and away. Right shoulder and right ear are far, far away from each other. Then you're going to relax your neck. So your head is hanging in space. It is not resting on your right shoulder. You're going to reach the left arm even farther back, so your left shoulder blade slides down the back. You should feel a stretch on the left side of your neck. Take one more breath here. And then rather than reaching the left arm up and overhead, I'd like you to keep your left shoulder blade down the back and swing your left arm in front of you until it winds up, kind of over your head in a diagonal line. Left shoulder stays down the back. Come all the way back up into your warrior two. Left hand on left thigh. That right arm's going to reach up and over for your reverse warrior, but I want you to keep the right shoulder down the back. Come all the way back up, warrior two. Take the hands down, step it back, flow through a vinyasa. And of course, you know, once you hit your down dog, to double check your hands and the space between the ears and shoulders. And then take a big step forward with your left foot, spin the right foot flat, and come up into your warrior two. Make sure you are properly aligned. And then bring your left forearm to your left side, but leave your right arm where it is. Push into your left forearm to lift up out of, compressing in the neck, then relax your neck. So your head is just hanging in space. It is not resting on your left shoulder. Your right arm is reaching even farther back. And if your neck is truly relaxed and your right shoulder blade is depressed, you are feeling a stretch on the right side of your neck. Just like we did on the first side, not reaching the arm up and overhead, but swinging it in front of us, keeping the shoulder down the back. Let your right arm come over your head at a diagonal line, not quite parallel to the ground, but that right shoulder stays down the back. Come all the way back up, warrior two. Right hand on right thigh, left arm up and over for reverse warrior, but we keep left shoulder down the back. No compression in the neck. And while we're at it, let's check and make sure we're not clenching our jaw. Come all the way back up. Take your hands to the mat and flow through a vinyasa. From this downward facing dog, you can either walk or jump forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Grab your strap if you have one. Things should be loosening up a little bit through the chest and the shoulders. So let's test that out and perhaps enhance it. Grab your strap or belt or whatever you're using with palms facing forward, and please do not wrap it around your hands. I want it to be able to slide. Arms are going to be straight. We're going to inhale and take it behind us to our major stretch point. We finish our inhale there because we're slow breathers, right? And then as we exhale, press the arms down behind us. And do the same thing on the return journey. Inhale up to the biggest part of the stretch. Finish inhaling. And then exhale and press the arms back over your head. So the idea is if you do sleep, slow, deep yoga breaths, then your movement has plenty of time to really savor the stretch sensation. So here we go. Inhaling back. Finishing the inhale at that stretch point, exhaling as we press through. Inhaling back up. And then exhaling as we press through. I'd like you to do that 2 more times at your own speed. As you finish your last one out, you're going to bring your strap behind your back. Turn sideways on your mat and take a really wide side step. Toes pointing forward. You're grabbing your strap with your palms facing back, with the strap about hip width. Again, please don't wrap the strap. If your palms need to slide a little wider, we want them to have that ability. We're going to hinge at the hips, relax the neck, and then begin to reach the arms up towards the ceiling or the sky, keeping shoulder blades squeezed together, but also keeping shoulders down the back, and then allowing gravity to kind of carry our arms and hands as though they would touch the ground over our head. On your next inhale, come all the way back up. You can release the strap, roll your shoulders back, keep this wide stance, and then hinge at the hips again. And this time we're going to walk our hands out in front of us, flatten out the palms, particularly between the base of the index finger and thumb. Pull the hips back, broaden the shoulders, and relax the neck. You can think of this almost as a wide-legged down dog, but be mindful of keeping ears and shoulders separated. From here, we're just going to slide the hands back until we feel like our back is very straight and we are pretty close to horizontal. So your hands will most likely be off your mat. You want them directly under your shoulders if your back is flat. And then from here, we're just going to slide the right hand a little more towards the center. Keep the spine lengthened and begin to rotate and take the left hand up. And then draw some circles in the air with your left arm. See how that range of motion is going. See if it's changing. And then bring your left hand down where your right hand was. And take your right hand up. Draw some circles in the air with the right hand. See how that's going. Bring the right hand back down. Walk your hands back onto your mat. Toe, heel your feet together. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, palms together, back at the front of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And then exhale, back down. You can either walk or jump back to plank. Flow through a vinyasa. You know what to do when you're downward facing dog. And then drop to your knees. So we're going to go into a version of Utila, which is extended child's pose. What I'd like you to do is keep your arms extended in front of you as you take your buns to your heels and your forehead down to the mat. Then relax your arms, which means your elbows and forearms are on the mat. Bring your palms together and start raising your hands up towards the sky or the ceiling. And if you feel like you can, bring them back as though the thumbs would touch the back of the neck, and maybe they do. See how that feels for you, and then we're going to intensify it a little bit. So come on back up. Hands and knees, all fours. Now I want you to come down onto your forearms here, but keep your thighs vertical. It's kind of like a version of a heart opening pose along with a child's pose. So go ahead and let the forehead rest down on your mat, but your bum is in the air, your thighs are vertical, palms come together again. And again, we're going to reach the hands back towards the back of the neck. Let your chest kind of sink down. but you're going to keep space between ears and shoulders. Release that. Come on up onto your hands and knees, and now let's just move into a very traditional threading the needle so that you can get some opening behind your right shoulder blade. So inhale and raise your right arm up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, scoop it underneath you. I'd like you to leave your left hand wherever it was when you began. Push with your left hand to roll into your right shoulder blade. Please resist the urge to extend your left arm out. Keep your left hand where it was, your left elbow is in the air, so that you've actually got some leverage here. Really roll into the space behind your right shoulder blade. Breathe. And then come out of that, hands and knees. So if you're on all fours and you don't move your right hand, it'll be in the right spot. Inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, scoop it underneath you. Right hand does not change, and you push with your right hand. Roll into your left shoulder blade. Come on out of that. Wag your tail if you need to, and then we go into full heart opening pose. Keep the thighs vertical. Begin to extend the arms out. Let the forehead hit the mat, or if you have the shoulder flexibility, let the chest hit the mat. Now you should feel your armpits stretching. Again, I encourage you to keep the shoulders pulled down the back, away from the ears. And then come on up from that. Step back to plank. And take your final vinyasa here. Double check ears and shoulders in your downward facing dog. And then I'd like you to either walk or jump your feet forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Before we sit, we're going to balance. So we're doing a variation on Warrior 3. You'll be standing on your right leg first. Your left leg will be extending behind you. You're welcome to use the strap if you need it, but if you can, interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift the chest, lift the arms a little bit, and then lift off. Left leg extending behind you. All the way back up, plant your left foot, transition right into the second side. Right leg extends behind you. And then come back up. Put your right foot back down, release the arms, roll the shoulders back, and then just have a seat, extending your legs. You may want to make sure that your block or whatever you're using for one is within reach. Wiggle the legs a moment. Take just 1 or 2 breaths in Dandasana to kind of check in with your body. And then just coming into a really simple twist today. You're going to keep your right leg straight. We're going to bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Lean out of your right leg for a moment. Just lean out. Wherever your left hand is a perfect place for it. Just raise the torso back up and reach your right arm behind you. Like in the air behind you, parallel to the ground. And double check that shoulders are down the back. And then all we're going to do is switch hands. Right hand is going to go wherever your left hand was. Keep your chest lifted. Reach your left arm behind you. Rotate back around. Lean out over your right leg one more time. And then simply switch. Extend your left leg out. Bring your right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Lean out over your left leg. Wherever your left hand is, whether it's your foot or your shin, leave it there, but raise the torso back up. Simply reach your right arm behind you. And then bring your right hand to wherever your left hand was. Keep the torso up and reach your left arm behind you. Lean out over your left leg one more time. Come on up from that. Extend your right leg out. Wiggle. And then from this position, we're going to do just one variation of our seated forward bend, and then you're on your back. So you're going to interlace your fingers behind your back. Now what your body wants to do is relax the arms and hunch forward. I'm going to ask you to do the opposite. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift your chest and lift the arms. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together as you push your heart forward. It's a smaller movement, but your spine stays straight and the shoulders and the chest stay open. Just take 2 more breaths here. And then come on up from that. Roll your shoulders back. Grab your block or towel or whatever you're using. And we're going to be playing with a couple of different positions today with the block underneath our upper back first. You may either go flat level or mid-level. We're just not going to do anything on the high level today. What I'd like you to do is have this going up the length of your spine. In other words, the long part of whatever you're using is going to correspond to the length of your spine. I'd like you to bend your knees initially, please. Put the bottom edge of the block at the bottom of your rib cage. Allow your torso to recline over it. And then your arms can open out to the side. If your neck is unhappy here, you can either hang onto your head with a hand or put something else underneath your neck or lower your block. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, just letting everything relax. See how it feels in your body now to let the arms be over your head, reaching straight overhead. You're going to feel more of a stretch in the rib cage. And then if you'd like to, for 2 more breaths, you can extend your legs straight. Slowly bend the knees again if your legs were straight. I would love for you to just roll to the right side, to come off of your block or whatever you're using, and then use your left hand in front of your chest to press yourself back up to sitting and roll your shoulders back for a moment. Good. Now all we're going to do is put the block or towel, whatever you're using, in the opposite direction so that it's across the back. And I'd like it right underneath your shoulder blades, not any lower than that. So it's pretty high up, but it shouldn't be under your neck, by the way. So You kind of find where that bottom edge should be, right at the bottom of the shoulder blades, right at the bottom of your scapulae. Knees are bent, same thing. We start to let our body relax back. You're welcome to support your head if you need to. Drop your block to the lowest level if you need to. Arms are out to the side to begin with. We take a couple of breaths. See what it feels like to allow your arms to come completely overhead. Now you're going to have a bigger stretch. If you'd like to, for a couple of breaths, you may extend your legs. And then slowly bend your knees again. One more time. Just gently roll over to your right side. But this time, you can just kind of get your block and then lie on your back. Pause for a moment with your back flat. And then before we do our final little yummy stuff, now we're going to traction out your neck. So in the hopefully unlikely event that your neck got compressed during that, which it should not have, because that's one of our focuses, is not to do that today, right? But just in case, we're going to use our block to actually traction the neck. So I'd like you to put it at the flattest level underneath your head, kind of like a pillow. And then feel so that your face is parallel to the floor or to the ground. In other words, your chin's not pointing up and it's not pointing down. Your face is parallel to the ground. Extend your legs straight out. And then internally rotate them, which means you're trying to get your knees to look at each other. You're rolling your thighs inward. Then you're going to reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling or the sky. Push into the back of the head and push with your hips so that just the rib cage lifts. You just want your shoulder blades off the ground. Keep those knees strongly rolling inward. Your arms are just reaching straight up towards the sky. Your shoulder blades are totally off the ground. You're breathing. And then you lower back down. You take a breath. Let your legs relax. We're just going to do it one more time. So go ahead and roll your thighs inward. Reach your hands for the sky. Sorry, I'm making up words today. Lift your rib cage off the ground. So basically, it's just the shoulder blades that are up in the air. And you have this real strong internal rotation of the thighs. Face is parallel to the floor. Arms are reaching up. One more breath here. And then lower back down. You can move your block off to the side. Hug your knees in and rock side to side. Really gentle spinal twist here. Keep your knees bent. Keep them together. Drop them over to the right. Let your left arm open out to the left. Let your head turn to the left. And you can play with the angle of your left arm here to just get like the best, yummiest final chest and front shoulder opener on this left side. On your next inhale, bring those knees back up. Exhale, drop them to the left. Let your right arm open out to the right. Head turns to the right. Play with where that right arm is so that you can get your best last stretch on the right side of the chest and right front shoulder. On your next inhale, bring your legs back up. Hug your knees in. Side to side rock. And then just put your feet on the mat. Let the knees drop open, soles of the feet together. Let your arms relax down below the height of the shoulders. Pause here for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Press your low back into the mat. Flatten the back. Hold it while you breathe out. Hold it while you breathe in. And then on your next exhale, just relax. Let the curve come back into your spine. Extend your legs. Maybe wiggle them a minute. Totally relax them. Lengthen your spine. Make sure your hands are palms up, away from the shoulders, farther down. Preferably your shoulders have slid down the back, far away from the ears. You lengthen your neck and then you soften your jaw. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale through the mouth. Completely relax. Feel your whole body softening and settling into your mat. And bring a lot of awareness to the back of your neck, the back of the shoulders, the space between the shoulders. Feel all of that really softening and spreading across the mat. Feel how when you breathe in, not only do you feel your sternum lift and your collarbone shift and your ribs expand, but you also feel that increase in pressure and space of the upper back against the mat. Feel how everything softens as you relax. So as you're inhaling, front side of the body is expanding, chest, shoulders, rib cage, and back side of the upper torso is also expanding, and you can feel that because you feel a little extra pressure against the mat and a little extra space between shoulder blades. I want you to focus on that. So if it helps you, keep your focus around your sternum, front side of the body, and then the corresponding back side of where your sternum is. Every breath, notice that. If your mind wanders, just gently bring it back. Feel the front side of your torso expanding around the sternum. Feel the back side of the torso expanding around the back part of the sternum. begin to just allow your awareness to move throughout the rest of your body. So bringing awareness to the fact that even though primary emphasis of the practice was on upper torso, shoulders, chest, neck, and jaw, the entire body benefits when we relax and open this part of us. Begin to deepen your breath. Begin to move your fingers and toes a little. As you're ready, take that deeper breath in, spread fingers and toes, and then exhale through the mouth and relax them. Even deeper breath in, stretch. And exhale and relax. Bend your knees. Roll to your right. And as you're ready, just press yourself up into a seated position. Find your aligned straight spine. And then go ahead and interlace your fingers so that your left thumb is on top. So it's in Kundalini, it's called a bear grip. You're just interlacing your fingers, or it's a Venus lock. There's a lot of different names for it. But you want your left thumb to be on top. And then I want you to just let your hands rest in your lap. Let your elbows and shoulders relax. What we're going to do is kind of like non-pranayam. In other words, zero effort breath work. And this can be a really sweet practice. You're already primed because you are focusing on the sensations of your breath while you're in Shavasana. So rather than control the breath for our pranayam today, we're simply going to watch it. I don't want you to do anything. Don't lengthen it. Don't restrict it. Nothing. Just watch your breath, beginning with the nostrils. Feel the inhale coming into the nostrils. And feel it going back out. Feel how the inhale moves up towards your third eye point. And then you feel that subtle expansion in the chest. And then feel how it goes back out. But don't control the breath. Simply watch it. So they should be soft, gentle, probably relatively shallow breaths. And you're simply paying attention, watching the breath move into the nostrils, up towards the space between the eyebrows, feeling that subtle, gentle expansion at the sternum, and then feeling how that just goes back out. And then just slowly allow the palms of the hands to come together and bring them up in front of your heart. So we take a moment in gratitude that we can practice hard vinyasa, challenging yoga, and we can take these moments like today to balance that out and practice the gentler, subtler aspects of yoga, that they both have value, that we should in fact challenge ourselves and occasionally push ourselves, and that we should back up and be gentle and soothe and nurture ourselves as well. Life is both effort and surrender, sukha and sthira, steadiness and ease. And so we're grateful that our yoga practice reminds us of that, right? That we have that capacity to always strive for balance. Take one more really deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Palms to the forehead. Always a reminder to be present, to stay in the moment. Palms to the lips. Always a reminder to speak our truth with courage. Palms to the heart. Always a reminder to keep our hearts open. So always practice kindness, compassion, tolerance, understanding, love. And to remember to include ourselves in that. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. Namaste.